Welcome back. I want to make a quick video on the power of revision. That is something huge that Neville Goddard teaches in most of his book, and it tells that revision is really one of the master key to change your past in order to change your future, and in order to be able to stop the patterns, the habits, the loops, the things that keep on happening in your life from happening and keep on creating. So in essence, what you're doing is that you're stopping that wheel, that energy, that momentum, that negative momentum that's been going on for a while. You stop it through the art of revision. Because here's the thing, and revision is a topic that when I first learned about Neville Goddard and revision many years ago, I was not sure about it. Because it felt wrong, it felt weird, it felt unnatural to revise my past as any different than the way it happened. Because if you knew in revision, basically what revision is taking anything that happened, experience-wise, that didn't go the way you wanted to be, or that went negatively, so to speak, and to revise it in a way that is going well, or that you can learn from it, or that you can transform the negative emotion, or that you can simply let go of whatever was there and see yourself going through this in a new way. So revision can take on many forms, but there is tremendous power in the art of revision if you apply it in your life, because it is a tool that can free you from the past hurt, sadness, loss, beliefs that you created, anything that is affecting you today, that is letting your past anchor you, slowing you down, and being like that big ball around your ankle that you're just carrying around, slowing you down and preventing you from truly creating what you want. And let's face it, we all had experiences in the past that were not good, that were not aligned with what we wanted and what we feel we deserve and how we wanted to be treated. It's life. And revision offers you a possibility to let that go and to learn from it and to stop creating the same pattern. Because here's the thing, the mind always looks back at the past for reference and project into the future. So when something happens right now in your life, maybe with money, and maybe you had a business, it didn't work out and you lost money, and now you have a new business idea and you want to start it, perhaps you started it and your mind is going to freak out because in the past you had a business, maybe it went well and then you lost it. And if you let that program, if you let that perception, if you let that thing keep on the momentum, you're very much likely to re-experience the same thing because of that projection. So this is just one example of how the past affects us back. If you got heartbroken in the past, or you got betrayed, and then now you struggle to trust people in relationships, it's polluting every single one of your relationship, because not only you're attracting certain people of that kind, but also you're not able to fully open your heart, love, and give, and therefore it's tampering with the amount of experience and love that you can have in your life. So revision is a simple tool that can really unlock yourself from negative experiences from the past. The way I use revision is very simple. I don't necessarily change what happened, but I change the meaning I created about what happened. I look for the lesson, I look for the empowering state, I look for what I need to learn, and I look for maybe how I respond and what I do after that. So in essence, revision can be done in whichever way you want. Neville Goddard goes a step further. He says that see it as you wanted it to go, as you wanted it to unfold. That's also a way to do revision. And I know that a lot of people do that. I think for me, what matters the most, in my personal opinion, is to be able to forgive yourself and others. And not try to manipulate, not try to change anything but yourself. Really always having the focus on yourself, because if you are truly the main creator of your life, it doesn't really matter what other people played in their part, but to understand that those memories only exist now in my consciousness, because the past is gone, it's intangible, and will never come back unless we recreate it over and over again. So we have to understand that our memory, which is nothing more than a tool of imagination, is what holds us back in those states. and that we can do ourselves a disservice by keep on replaying, imagining those scenarios over and over again and letting them linger in our subconscious mind. Or we can do ourselves a great deal of service by letting that go, by learning from it, by forgiving, by growing from it, by getting the lesson, by creating the new attitude or the new self-image that is going to make sure that the next experiences go beautifully well. And I truly believe that, this is my personal belief, my personal philosophy, that negative experiences, so to speak, can be a catalyst of tremendous growth. So I don't like to deny that, oh, I never failed kind of thing, but I like to affirm that those failures, those setbacks, those things that didn't work became a trampoline for my personal growth. That's the way I approach personally revision. Okay, and the only thing you have to do is to sit in a meditative state or relaxed state, okay, a state akin to sleep, as Neville would say, and to bring yourself one of those memories, one at a time, that really affect you, or that really you feel like this didn't work out, or this sucked, or I wish I could have something different there, or something that you haven't let go of, an old grudge argument. You get the gist. And then you could ask yourself, okay, what meaning did I create from this? How do I feel in this experience? What do I want from this? What's good about this? So you can start to ask yourself questions to look at this situation from a different perspective. And as soon as I start asking myself questions, I start to get new understanding. For example, if I ask myself, is this meaning that I created, is this really true? Is it worth suffering so many years after that? If I had to learn something from this, what would it be? And so as I look from those angles, and as I start to embody that state, that new emotion, that new image, right? Because it's all happening in your imagination, and you can really shape it in any way you want. What I'm looking for is the resources that I need from that experience so that I never go back to that same experience. Example, recently, a couple of months ago, I failed at closing a couple of clients when I rose my prices, and I realized that there was a pattern there. So I asked my question, how did I create that? And I started to notice that in my imagination there was a feeling that I wasn't worth X amount of money. And because of that, people were not finding worthy to invest that money for my coaching. But when I put the price back to what it was, I would close the sale with no problem. It would be easy, it would be smooth. So that showed me my level of consciousness that created those multiple failures or rejections. So instead of just revising or as in people bought it, I went to the source of my consciousness that created that event in the first place. And I learned to see myself as worthy of that price tag because of the value, the impact, and the difference I can make in my clients. So that was the diamond, the blessing that came from that, so to speak, loss, because we never really lose, okay? But gaining that understanding and creating that belief allowed me to then close new deals with the new amount without sabotaging my results. So this is the way I approach revision. And revision can be a tremendous tool, guys, in your life. Not to escape, not to avoid healing, not to avoid forgiving, not to manipulate things and people, but to grow and transform your own level of consciousness, to empower yourself with resources so that now you can create new experiences. So if you always struggled with money, go back to certain events that affected your relationship with money and start telling yourself, start seeing yourself, start getting new knowledge of how you could outgrow that mentality, that attitude, that relationship and self-image with money, and then start seeing yourself acting out this. And then you'll notice how it's affecting your relationship with money in the now. So revision, guys, is extremely simple. I hope this makes sense. I really wanted to answer a question that I got recently on the power of revision. If that makes sense, if you want a longer video, more broken down, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know how it goes. If you use revision, which I strongly invite you to do, come back and tell me how did it go. Any question, let me know. As always, be well. See you next time.